Alright, let's go ahead and get to his hands here. They haven't been worked on pretty much the entire time. So let's work on them. Just gonna go hide the subtool for the eyes. Making sure I'm in symmetry mode. And I'm gonna go back to, well, not quite clay buildup yet. I need to fix the actual finger digits themselves so they're actually usable. I got a little loose with it initially, so leaves me a little bit of work to do here, but we'll get it worked out. You can remember that design I had it initially. He had some pretty long looking fingers, so I'm going to try to adjust all that first. And I had them kind of incrementally larger as they went, his index being actually longer than the middle finger. I'm just going to kind of curve them out a little bit as well. Make it feel a little bit more relaxed. Let's pull the thumb. So what I'm really worried about or concerned about at this point is getting the building blocks all in the right spot. So I'm going to thicken up anything that needs to be thickened and move and extend anything else as well. This is all going to still be sort of the same language as everything else. Sort of like this plate type exo skin thing he's got going, like the shell type feel he has to him. At least that's the initial idea. Of course, this stuff can always evolve as you go, especially when you're just kind of making stuff up. If you got something more specific you're making for a particular client or whatever, then you know you may have some stricter rules to have to follow. But the point of this guy is just to have a little fun. This particular workshop was meant to show you how you know, how you can just begin an idea for a creature, whether it's kind of humanistic like this guy or something completely animalistic or insect-like or whatever, or any kind of genre you're really looking forward to doing. It's all about personal preference. This is, you know, this is all art. It's all subjective to what you enjoy doing. I just happen to enjoy doing some of the hybrid stuff where you're just kind of mixing things together. Making things up as you kind of go, that kind of thing. But keeping a little bit of believability in there as well. And doing this handwork can be a bit monotonous, so I'm going to try to, you know, talk about it as I go here, but also just to kind of do some generic kind of thoughts on whenever, you know, creating and designing that you want to kind of keep in mind. At least it's what I try to keep in mind, the different things I've been talking about. And this finger, his hands and his fingers and all that, this is all part of the same, obviously part of the same character, but he's got to have the same personality here. He's still got to have the same kind of look to him. I'm not going to give him like these really long crazy sharp claws, as he's not intended to look like he's kind of villainous in any way. Blocking some knuckles here. The trickiest part for me for fingers is just getting the overall like tube shape of them correct, especially when you're just kind of sketching them out like this. You're not using a pre-made mesh. It's a little bit of time to kind of get the the solid feel of everything strong enough. Thankfully we have all sorts of brushes that can help out with that, so we're gonna try a couple standard strokes. Inflate, like I used earlier, was quite the handy brush. Let's fix his little pinky nubbin here so it looks sort of thought out. That's the trick, at least, to make it look sort of like we meant to do it, you know? And I'm going to cut over to Dame Standard. Just kind of get a couple of cuts in here for joints. And since we're still kind of in this Dynamish world, it's kind of messy. You know, you can see the geometry is not exactly pretty, but alright, let's do another little switch over to the lasso. Yeah. Blur it a couple times, reverse it, and I'm going to extend it out even longer. Or you can just pull on the end. And now that I kind of got most of the piece in here, I'm going to adjust the overall shape to be a little bit stronger looking. Actually, I need to probably fix that as well, make it a little bit of rotation on these guys. I'm trying to get them basically to point straight down. Get a little bit stronger ridge going in here. Forgot about the thumb. Let's do the same thing to him. Oops. Got flipped over. No big deal. Actually, let's undo a few of those. I'm going to take it up here so he's got a little bit more mobility. This pinky keeps bothering me. Just lots of shaping and spinning and spinning and shaping. Fingers have always been one of my hardest, fingers and hands and stuff. That's always been some of my weakness. So I tend to either save them for last or kind of fight my way through it a little bit. Little, bony joint here. It could be one of our protrusions that we were adding earlier. Same for here, just a little one. Just cut across for his wrist. Try to get his palm kind of figured out here. And then I'm going to cut into this little pit in his hand, scoop that out. Then give a little bit more meat to his thumb area. The same thing for the other side. Kind of extend out the index here just a tad more. It's a little skinny. Alright, they're kind of pointing kind of at an awkward angle, so I'm going to rotate them out a little bit. Still kind of weird. Let's get a bit bigger of a thumb. Just see the whole context. Still kind of want to do it a little bit longer. Just at least look at it. It's kind of got ET fingers. It's kind of funny. I'm going to actually rotate the whole hand. Well, I'm going to try to at least. Sometimes these rotation things work great. If you just rotate there in the middle, it should rotate nice and easy, but sometimes it doesn't quite work for me. Okay, at least things are kind of moving in the right area and right direction. The fingers need a lot of work, but we'll get there. A little wobbly right now. Experimenting with some of the feel for his hand here. Probably go ahead and cut in some pads. For the fingers, might help to work through some of this rough stuff. And if you get it kind of misaligned, like the joints are in the wrong spot, just use the move brush to get it better aligned. Especially we don't have anything really heavily topologized yet, where we have to kind of keep it along certain joint lines. You can put those finger creases pretty much anywhere you want to at this point. Let's see what we can do with this thumb. Oops, keep getting switched over to the other side. And some of this takes just a little bit longer than usual because you're just kind of making it up as you go here. So you're experimenting with design at the same time as just doing your construction. So it's gonna take a little bit of time sometimes to get through something complex like a hand, where there can be all kinds of bumps and things like that. Just laying a little bit of indication of where the joints are. Try to get a little bit heavier on the ridge that goes around. Try a little something different in the knuckles here. Just kind of pulls some extrusions off that I can play with. Oops, I'm already in the move brush. Let's flatten that out just a tad bit. And draw just another indication of some sort of crease here. It goes across. Also just draw a little line around this bony bit. Let's make this guy a little bit longer. And rotate him. Oh, maybe not that far. It's taking about 25 minutes to get to this point, but it'll be well worth it once you're finished jacking with the hand here. It just takes some time, you know. I mean, this stuff just doesn't grow on trees, man. A lot of thought goes into this, figuring out what should go where. So it should naturally take just a bit of time. And if you hit some rough spots as you go along, just keep spinning your model and figure out what it is that's making it look kind of weird. Because I know I've been making some weird stuff, weird decisions here and there, and if I just keep plugging at it, eventually I can get it to work out. Or if I keep plugging at it too long, I just give up on it and just move on to a different area and get to think about the problem areas a little bit more in between sessions, or while, like, say if I jumped over to working on his arms, I can sit there and work on his arms, and something I do on his arms may think, oh, maybe I should do that in his hands. Maybe I should make that part of his look. Now I think I'm gonna shrink him down a little bit. It's so large. And I'll just use the move to kind of get it back in the right spot. Kind of weird looking. Especially that first finger. I wonder what it looked like if I didn't have it longer. Hmm. Let's get this thumb. Never did really cut in the pads for these other guys. Let's isolate this again. Ooh, beautiful. I could probably re-dynamish this. Show the whole thing first, apparently. I'm not sure what it might have done to the stuff in his face. I mean, it does get rid of quite a bit of the stuff I had there. Guess it's not altogether that bad. kind of see why my doing fingers isn't my favorite part. So it just takes a little bit of time, man. Basically just making these little joint lines and just wrapping put a little skin bulge on them. And just kind of do this over the whole rest of the fingers. I'm going to move this back just a bit. Make sure everything meets up real nice. I think I'll just pause down for a second and do the rest of these fingers. Okay, I am back all of a sudden. But I actually spent about another 20 minutes fixing up his hands. I did all the finger joint bits for the most part. Looks like I missed one. Got the hands spread, or the fingers spread just a little bit. Got the knuckles put on for the most part. And keep finding stuff. And then just kind of adjusted the shape and size of the hand. Kind of looks kind of crustacean right now, but I'm hoping once I get to the detailing stage we can get it more solidified back into the style he was going for, which is more that kind of shelled look to him. So here's the hands in context, everything else. The fingers are no longer like this, you know, these really long two front fingers and then short ones in the back. That was just looking kind of weird for the character. So I nixed the idea. Sometimes that happens. So no big deal. Hopefully it's for the betterment and strength of the character. So we'll see. We will see. Okay, so that's the hands, and once I kind of got the hands in there and the head, I can start seeing this guy a little bit better. And you know, I haven't done anything in the legs, but I don't even know what the rest of him is going to look like quite yet. But you know, we got some time here to continue on with that. So let's go ahead and move on with tying in the rest of the arms. I think would be a good idea because it's kind of connect us to the head, to the shoulder, to the hand. We got this little area here in the middle that could use some clarifying.